Thank you, James. Checkea last won a medal in 2005 at the World Junior Championship. Canada won silver here in 2021, gold in 2020, has advanced to 4 of the last 5 gold medal games in this tournament. The officials for this game are Sean Fernandez from the United States, Christopher Holm from Sweden, the linesmen are Kevin Briganti and John Ray from the United States. And this man will be very much the focus today. Thomas Suchanek, the 19-year-old who plays for Tri-City of the Western Hockey League, was terrific against the United States. 2 goals on 30 shots. He's withstood a late barrage from them. Dylan Garand got the start for Canada in the round robin against Checkea. Allowed 3 goals on 25 shots. Then he allowed 3 on 26 in the quarterfinal win against Switzerland. Radim Rulik trying to guide his group to a place they've rarely been. And Dave Cameron won a silver medal with Canada at the 2011 World Junior Championship in Buffalo. A third period collapse cost them a gold medal that year. 11 years later, he's back, looking for that elusive championship.
Okay, guys, we're ready. Stay on your side. It's a beautiful day for hockey here in Edmonton. Let's go. Head up the puck.
Christopher Holm gets us underway. It is a beautiful day outside. And noisier one inside, too. Donovan Sabrango bats at that. And it's knocked out by Joshua Waugh. You heard Bob McKenzie talk about this newly constituted third line. McTavish between Dufour and Waugh. McTavish works in. The tournament point leader walks in, but the play's offside at the Checkea line.
Checkea played a fantastic game against the U.S. in the quarterfinals. Full value for the victory. And there would be a freedom in knowing that there is no pressure. Of course they want to compete, they want to win, they want to have a chance to get a gold or at least guarantee themselves a silver. But there's not a lot of pressure. They're not supposed to win this game. We're in Canada. Canada's the favorite. And part of their game plan will be to frustrate Canada physically and defensively. They can do that like they did it against Americans. They give themselves a good chance.
Now the lead pass finds Shapovalov in, shoots, quick backhand shot for Matvei Shapovalov, who scored the goal that made it 3-1 against the United States. It was an absolute back-breaking goal for the Americans.
Good first save for Dylan Garand, and heard Farrell talk about off the rush here. And just a little bit of an indecision between McTavish and Thompson, and it leaves a seam for Shapovalov to exploit. You got to be a little bit tighter. They have 3 bodies back, but 2 of them are kind of covering space and not identified to a man, forcing Garand to make first save of the game.
Logan Stankoven was 9-2 on faceoffs in that round game against Checkea. Czechia games have been wild. Down 2-0 against Slovakia, up 4-2. Slovakia came back to tie it before they won it 5-4. Down 2-0 to Finns. Or let them 2-0 rather, lost that game in a shootout. Let Canada 1-0, wound up losing. Seeley comes in and shoots. That's blocked. Back at the point it goes. And a hard shot taken by Thompson is blocked. You heard James Ethie talk about the shot blocks against Team USA.
Buffet's open.
In comes Johnson, winds it and shoots. And Suchanek looking back, but he's got it.
Well, the panel was on it. You heard Jeff talking about Kent Johnson being a difference maker. He can be, and he has been in many ways, but maybe not as far as scoring goals, but moving his feet, a little more strength, a little open up to get the defenseman confused, get the inside edge and take it all the way to the net. That is really well done by Kent Johnson, and Suchanek has to be good to squeeze the right arm and keep that puck out of the net. You love to see when Kent Johnson moves his feet.
Suchanek plays for Tri-City, as we mentioned, and his mask pays tribute to 2 Vezina Trophy winners who played junior for Tri-City, Ole Colson and Carey Price.
He'll take either a performance like either one of those guys will do today for Suchanek.
Checkea also is down 2-0 to Latvia in their game, lost 5-2. That knocked Slovakia out of competition, so an upside for the Czechs on that one. Then they trailed the Americans 1-0 early, but won that game 4-2 in the quarters and were full value for it. Suchanek was terrific, and the Americans could not get near the net for long stretches.
They did just enough in the round robin to be great.
Right.
And that's what made them scary. You knew if they put it all together, they're tough.
Puck loose to Connor Bedard, winding in. The puck rolled off his stick. Here's Bedard back with it. Tries to throw that rink wide. It bounces back to Olin Zellweger, moves in. Zellweger from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, just northeast of Edmonton. Plays that back at the point. Brendan Hoffman drops that back down, and the puck bounced away from Zach Ostapchuk. Now walking back in, and a diving play there by Sabrango. Took a scoring chance away from Adam Mahura. Now a rink-wide pass for Desnoyers. Skipped away from him. Racing back is David Spacek, and Hoffman ran headlong into him.
The crowd sensed that one coming and rose to the occasion. Maybe let Spacek know to get his head up.
Spacek's dad, Yaroslav, a longtime NHLer who played here, among other places. That bounces right to Desnoyers. In shoots. And Spozo got a stick on that. Another big hit by Hoffman as he barreled over Stanislav Svozil. Now Celia's shot, it goes off his stick, flips back to the corner. Lead pass to Yuri Kulik. And Kulik, a Buffalo first-round pick, got squeezed on the puck by Ronan Seelig. Kicked back by Dufour. And now the captain, Jan Mysak, the Montreal second-rounder, gets a backhand away, and that's stopped by Dylan Garand.
Canada talked about not having the kind of energy and intensity to their game against Switzerland. Well, Brennan Hoffman doing their best to get that changed up right away, taking a healthy run at Spacek, nice and clean, no penalties. And you get one, might as well go for two. Bowls over Shapovalov. And the rush chances against have been an issue for Canada. Sabrango breaks up a quick little 2-on-1. You don't want to be giving up to the Czechs, who are quick to get up the ice in transition.
Tavish won that face-off. Now Thompson brings it out. Played back down to the Czech zone where defenseman Alice Czech goes back for it. Thompson shoots. That's blocked. And now thrown rink line by Shapovalov. Not Shapovalov. Shapovalov. Mysak works it back for Spacek in. Shoots. Fired that wide. That was Juracek, rather. David Juracek, the Columbus first-rounder. Now Juracek feeds that back across. Little backhand shot. Bounces back in front as Thomas Amaro got that away. Out comes Dufour the other way for Canada. Centering pass from McTavish is broken up by Gabriel Sturz. Kent Johnson leads Canada with 30 shots in the tournament coming in. But just one goal to show for it so far. It was a dandy, though. As the puck picked up. Going to call a hand pass here.
Did Stankoven get a touch with the official waving it on that it was okay that he got a quick little piece? The linesman blew it down as though Stankoven did not touch it. It was going to be a glove pass. And Johnson thought he was looking at an opportunity, skating into a dangerous area. And I think this line in this game becomes the most important offensive line for Canada. With breaking up McTavish and Bedard, McTavish maybe more of a defensive slant to it. The loss of Greg, this line has got to score, which is good news because they were fantastic against Switzerland.
Right, Kent Johnson scored his only goal against Checkea, and it was a dandy. The lacrosse-style goal to make it a 2-1 game after Canada had fallen behind early. And here's Johnson back with it. Scored in the Olympics, the World Championship, and the World Junior in the 2022 season.
How's your year going?
One of 4 players in history who's done it. In comes Zellweger, shoots, put that high and wide. Sabrango back in the corner for Forster. Now Forster works it back in deep. Looks down to Stankoven, and Stankoven gets loose. Logan Stankoven. Kamloops Blazers star pivots back again. He's making Duke dizzy there. The puck is moved back down low, and Johnson tries to pick that free. Johnson stays on it, pokes it back in front, and Michal Gut knocks that away.
For Czech, you can do, though. Time in the defensive zone, but really no chances for Canada to speak of. They are good along the wall.
Zellweger, lead pass for Gaucher. That's knocked down, and Suhana comes out to play it. He's had some adventures playing the puck in recent games. The Americans' first goal was scored as a result of a bad bounce right there. Puck came bouncing out of that corner, right in front. Now back at the point, here's Thompson, a shot, deflected puck, and Suhana lunges to make that save. Seeley back with it, throws it back for Bedard. And Connor Bedard, the recently turned 17-year-old, the youngest player on Team Canada, plays it in. And Bedard going at it in front of the Checkea bench. They've got a hold of his stick. And he finally pulls that free. Checkea in the round-robin meeting was bumping Bedard, trying to get under his skin.
Right here, ice up, right here.
Jumping in is Alice Check. Walks right in and shoots. He fires that wide. Check back on it. Bounces right back. And Hauser couldn't pull the trigger. And Hoffman has it back. Hoffman bounces that ahead. And Suhanik hangs on to that. No score here in the first period. Bedard comes close on the deflection, but Suhanik makes the blocker save.
This game, he's been such a catalyst for Canada in every role he's played in every game. And there you see the hit against Switzerland that knocks him out of the game and essentially out of the tournament. Interference, shoulder on shoulder. He went off favoring his left arm. And the trickle down effect of his injury is significant. Changing lines, changing responsibilities, because he did so many things, and he became the forward that Dave Cameron trusted more than anyone else.
McTavish in for the face-off against Matsius Shapovalov. And McTavish wins that cleanly back, but it's picked off and moved out by Yuri Kulik. He scored the empty net goal against the United States. They put it away and touched off a celebration on the Czechia bench. It was something to behold. Suhanik fell. McTavish has the puck back. Mason McTavish. The Anaheim first-round pick, third overall. Feeds that back down. Dufour has it knocked away, and Mishak pokes it away quickly. Gets the return pass from Hamara. Pass rings wide, and Duran makes a stop on that. Puck is knocked down with a high stick, and as Mishak touches up, the face-off will come outside, but another good rush for Czechia.
This is the challenge for Canada, the one that the Americans could not solve. They get the puck in the offensive zone, and Czechia is so good at defending that if you turn it over, then they activate. And that quick little 4-on-3 ends up another odd man rush shot from an angle. And this is different for Canada because they've not had trouble breaking down defensive zone coverages with their speed and their skill. Czechia better at it. They're the best defensive team in their own end in this tournament.
Mishak has scored some big goals for Czechia in this tournament, including the game-tying goal against the United States, which had grabbed the early lead in that quarterfinal game. It's the second time in the last 16 years that Czechia has won a quarterfinal match at the World Junior Championship. That shot was fired high and wide by Forster. Goes back under the forecheck and knocks it free from Dahacek. Down for Stankoven. Logan Stankoven tries to pivot back, and Gooch took him in. Stankoven works it free back in front to Johnson. A backhand shot. Suhanik save rebound. Loose in front. And somehow Forster couldn't connect. Sealy with a shot that goes off a skate. That was close.
Forster was right on the doorstep. Just couldn't get his stick loose to poke it in the empty net.
Now Stankoven chips it back ahead. Brought in by Johnson. For Stankoven, the trailer that's picked off and moved out by Spacek. Del Mastros lines it back for Lucas Cormier. And away comes Johnson. Johnson slides it across to Forster. Now loose in the corner. Gaucher plays it back, but it bounces off the stick of Forster and back out. Canada changing as Del Mastro throws that back in. Bouncing puck got it up by Schmoser. It plays with Connor Bedard with Regina of the Western League. Here's Cormier back with it. Cormier, lead pass for Will Cooley. Rink wide pass, and Del Mastro takes that away from Rishavi. It was Rishavi who scored that short-handed goal against Canada to give Czechia a 1-0 lead. Ivan plays it back down. Rishavi centers it, and that's picked off by Cormier. Banks it off the glass and back down to the Czechia line. Mahura being forced there by Bedard, spins away from him. In comes Mahura. Works it and shoots. Graham makes the shoulder save on that. Bouncing puck in front. Cooley back on it. The clearing attempt was knocked down. A step check can't clear it out. Laid back in by Mahura. And now Ostapchuk picks it up. Moves with Cooley on Bedard. And Will Cooley lays that in. As Bedard makes his way off the ice. Now picked free by Ostapchuk. Fresh legs on the ice now for Canada. Drop back. Wow, with a shot. Goes off a skate. Up and out of play.
And the line we talked about of needing to maybe be the offensive leaders almost get one. Nice job by Stankoven, staying loose, keeping a puck alive. And Kent Johnson all open front. Oh, and there it is to Dahacek. Look at the battle right with Forster. Gets under his stick enough in desperation That's it's so close. Trickling wide on Tyson Forster, has gotten better as the tournament has gone along. Expect lots of battles like that around the Checkea net.
Suhanik averaged 35 saves a game this year for Tri-City in the Western League. Play their games in Washington State. Suhanik, high off the glass, knocked down by Zellweger. Feeds across for Sabrango. Sabrango in, trying to find that stick. And before couldn't quite get it, deflected off the stick of Kulik, up and out of play.
Good looks from the defense. Quick pass from Zellweger over to Sabrango, and he's trying to find a stick on the back door, but it's Kulik who recovering from the initial dump and that gets over there and deflects it away. Well done on both parts because Sabrango sees red jersey back there, is going to snap it through hard, but Kulik and smartly deflecting it up and over. You got to control where you're putting that puck, even around your own net defensively. Good job from Kulik.
Stanko for the face-off against Misha. Stanko wins it back to Zellweger, a shot, and that's gloved by Suhanik. So Stankoven's face-off prowess, he's number one in the tournament.
Just under 70% on the tournament.
Yeah.
So he's ripping off 7 out of 10 all tournament long, and one was actually on his weaker side where you're pulling it to the middle of the ice as opposed to the boards.
Now to his strong side. This time to face off against Michal Gutz. Wins that back cleanly. Zellweger. That pass picked off by Spacek. And David Spacek moves that back ahead for Sturz. Working in, drops it back to her bottom with a shot that deflected high. Zellweger gathers up the rolling puck. Rink wide for Sabrango. Snaps that pass ahead, bounced just in behind Johnson. In addition to playing for those 3 national teams for Canada last year, Kent Johnson played for Michigan and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now a centering pass for us to shoot. Oh, and a stop by Suhanik. Lost his top rebound, score! Kent Johnson cashes again against Checkea, and it's 1-0.
Kent Johnson has been absolutely flying in this first period. He's wanted the puck on his stick, and he's making things happen all over the ice this line, keeping pucks alive, and then Forster getting robbed again on the back door. Look at this one by Suhanik, but Stankoven pops in there, smart player, keeps it alive, and Kent Johnson's there to tuck it home. All 3 members of the line involved in opening the scoring, and Kent Johnson has been on it since puck drop.
So the man who came in with 1 goal on 30 shots cashes his second of the tournament. Both scored against Checkea and both big goals. From Port Moody, BC. Back at the point, Seeley floats that towards the goal. That's knocked down. Picked up by Desnoyers. He shoots, hit in front, but a backhand shot by a stop check. And Suhanik, a good job to keep it, just a 1-goal lead. Kent Johnson, the Columbus first-round pick, strikes again in a Canadian uniform.
Opening goal.
Deposit.
An offensive line for Canada has been dialed in to start this game. Kent Johnson get the deserved opening goal for Canada. A good play by Stanko. Forster's had a couple real near misses, and Kent Johnson jumping on it. And the way that they have a feel for each other now, time, spacing, making talented players even more effective because they have that chemistry developing.
Saku Koivu, Evgeny Malkin, Eli Tolvanen, the only other players who have scored in the World Junior, the World Championship, and the Olympics in the same year. Now, Johnson technically had already done it before the tournament started because he scored at Christmas time.
Right.
The personal statistics from that tournament count, even though the tournament was postponed. The game results do not.
We'll remove the asterisks anyways. He's got them done all over the place.
O'Rourke back to Cormier. Shoots, loose puck in front. Better chance for Stankoven. Sahanek down. Stacking another late whack. Forster in there as well. And somehow again, the puck. Forster's going to have nightmares about Sahanek tonight.
Well, there's sometimes the puck just follows you around because you're doing good things, you're working hard. But Kent Johnson right now, it is a magnet because this play, he's on the board side wall. And he goes to the net hard and wants the puck just to escape. And he knows it's coming, Gord. He somehow mid-360 pivot, he is intentionally trying to pick that puck back up to his stick. I have no idea how he knows where that puck is coming down to him, but he pops trying to get a stick on it. Forster there again to clean up, and Suhanek again turning aside this line.
Suhanek often makes saves without his goal stick.
Well, Dominic Hasek somewhere is smiling, saying that's how I started it.
When was goaltending school?
Put a picture of Dominator on your masthead.
McTavish wins it back to Sabarenko with a shot. That's just line. Zellweger back on it. Down to McTavish. McTavish trying to work that free. Knocked down by Waugh. Now moved ahead to Shapovalov, a Vegas second-round pick. And now Spacek fires it back around. Sabrango waiting for it. Mishak steps into him and knocks down Sabrango. McTavish went right back at Mishak. Teammates in the Hamilton Bulldogs in the Ontario League this year. Spacek goes back and in Dufour collide lightly in the corner.
Interesting for McTavish. Basically given the assignment to go up against his former teammate, knowing that he's going to try to shut down Mishak in his line. While also try to score himself. He's playing with a 50-goal scorer in Dufour and a leading point getter in Roy.
Well, we talked about Johnson playing for 5 teams last year. McTavish played for 6.
Well-traveled.
Played for Anaheim, their American League team in San Diego. They check back at the point, shoots, that ramps off his stick and high. He played for
3 national teams.
For Peterborough.
Right.
Got traded to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Then he played for the Olympic team.
Yeah.
And the World Junior team.
Twice.
Yeah.
Is a journey, Kent Johnson, pretty similar one for all those different teams, and internationally, Michigan, Columbus at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
it's been, the last.
But that's kind of the way the hockey world and the world has gone the last couple of calendar years.
Some of these players missed entire seasons. The OHL didn't play. McTavish went to Switzerland to play. Off the draw. Sturz has it knocked away by Bedard and sent back out. And Bedard going to the forecheck. Forced Hamara to spin back, and now Hamara moves away from him. Throws that pass away to Sturz, but at the line, clearly disrupted that. And the play's offside at the Canadian line. Canada's biggest day of racing takes place Sunday with the first jewel of the OLG Canadian Triple Crown. Catch the 163rd Queen's Plate at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on TSN and CTV. Another beautiful day in the Alberta capital.
There's a horse in that race named Causing Mayhem. Don't know if he's any good or not, but he seems to be the kind of guy I can get behind.
Really?
Yes.
Right?
Chaos. Causing Mayhem. He's my guy.
Shocking, really.
Yeah.
So Master plays it back across. Yvonne kind of threw his stick into the middle of the play after he broke it there.
Then Gaucher skated through it, knocked it out of his hand. He might have been looking for an interference. But that's like nothing.
Up for Kos. Rink wide pass goes to Jiricek. Jiricek drops in the high slot. Quick chance there for Jakob Kos. And the Florida 6th-round pick is turned away by Garand.
You have to know where you are in your shift length and what your energy systems are like. Gaucher and Bedard try to get in on the forecheck, and they both go after the same guy who makes a quick pass by both of them, and it's a clean, full ice 4-on-3. You see the 2 tired legs trying to back check, and we talked about Checkea activating bodies on the rush. And another 4-on-3, pretty good wrister, and saved by Garand. Canada will have to try to clean that up, knowing that Checkea is good in that area.
And the Czechs have been comfortable playing from behind in this tournament so far. They've been very resilient.
Next goal feels like it's hugely important. Might be overstating the obvious, but Checkea is comfortable down 1. You don't want to get down 2.
Austin goes racing for it. Canada's won the last 6 meetings. The last Checkea win in the 2014 tournament in Malmo, Sweden. Connor McDavid played as a 16-year-old in that game. Got benched for taking a penalty late in the second period. Didn't play in the third. Didn't play in overtime. Then they called up in the shootout.
Sometimes you got to let your best offensive players play.
You think?
I mean, as we see, Connor Bedard has had his ice time fluctuate up and down. And the injury is maybe down a little bit right now, given the role and the situation. And we've seen him respectfully get frustrated with himself, with his, by his standards, his lack of scoring goals.
He's one of 11 Canadian players on the roster who is eligible to return next year.
To remind ourselves, he just turned 17.
Yes.
This is not generally a tournament.
So think about it.
Dominated by people his age.
He wasn't alive when that team won in Grand Forks in 05. The star-studded Canadian team with Crosby, Bergeron, the whole group. He wasn't born yet. Long shot cut through. Good save by Garand. But that point shot was taken by Hamara. Now kick free by a stomp check. Puts it back ahead for McTavish. Lead pass by Seeley. Before drops it back for McTavish. Bounces back to Waugh. Now Zellweger jumps up to join the fray for Canada. And McTavish backs him up. Long wrist shot tipped in front just wide by Waugh. Waugh back on it. That pass misfires. And Kulik got it taken away by McTavish. A great steal there. Before works in and shoots. And Suhanik once again kind of looks back, but he's got it.
Canada doing a nice job as this period is worn on, getting pucks back to the point, and then not just getting pucks down to the net, but getting bodies and sticks available for tips and deflection and rebounds. Not easy to do. Checkea very good at boxing out and tying up, but doing a good job as the game has gone on, turning pucks over, keeping them alive. And this is where Canada is excellent. When they get in the offensive zone, they all are very good.
Right.
Play defense is to not play it at all.
Or as Igor Larionov once said to a defensive-minded coach, Kevin Constantine in San Jose, best defense is I have the puck.
That's why he's a professor. He says it better than I do.
Oh, off the top.
Kent Johnson again. It's stapled to his stick all periods.
Here he is again. Johnson gets loose in the corner with it. Rolls out ahead. To Hotcheck. Lays that back down low. And wisely, Jiricek spun away from Johnson to move it the other way. To Hotcheck. Works it and shoots. Garand makes the save. The rebound bounces down to Sabrango. Stankoven trying to work that free. The rolling puck. Played back for Spacek, but it skipped over his stick and out.
Oh, Kent Johnson almost had him. He gave the dummy stick tap in the spot where Spacek's defensive partner would have been. He double clutched. He almost passed it for him for a breakaway. Oh, boy.
Here's Johnson with it again. Spins that back to Stankoven. Up ahead for Forster, who glovers that down. Forster. Back around to Stankoven. Rolling puck, plays it back ahead for Johnson. Kent Johnson in. The puck rolled off the stick that time. Another chance, score!
Outside of the net. Outside of the net.
Outside of the net. Arms raised at the side.
Yeah, crowd reacted. That was close. Obviously. We saw Stankoven's release just against Switzerland. He just does not need any sort of time or space to get a quick wrister off. Kent Johnson turns it over again. And here's, just on the outside of the post. And the top bar shoots it down, makes it look like it was on the net. Wow, this line, what a period for Stankoven and company.
5:23 to go here in the opening period. Shots are 13-7 in favor of Canada. Czechia's last medal was that 2005 tournament. David Krejci and company won a bronze medal, beat the U.S. in the third place game. Fournier bangs it down. Moved back up by Alice Check. Rick wide pass. Moved up to Cooley. Cooley in front of the goal. And a diving defensive play made by Rishavi. Might have saved a goal there. Spacek brings it back around and fires that down in the Canadian zone. O'Rourke. Angles there. with Coase. Yvonne. Back in the corner. Yvonne played for Cape Breton in the Quebec League last year. But half the Czech players played in the CHL. Now the lead pass. Chips to Bedard. In, shoots, scores! Connor Bedard strikes. And it's 2-0 Canada. Wasn't the usual rocket, but it did the trick.
He doesn't need a fraction of a chance to make it count. As soon as this play, and a good play on the breakout, slides through Check. He gets tied up, whether to back up or pick it off. You know it's trouble. You expect him to have a chance of scoring. And you see on the crossover, Check just got tangled up in his own feet. Quick little look from Bedard. How much time do I have? Settle it. And that time, puck's way out in front of him. A different kind of release, right? He's not closing his eyes and breaking his stick in half. He's making sure to get it away quick and getting in the right spot. And that's what he does. Puts it past the goalie.
4th of the tournament.
His line mates feel a little bit relieved too, giving him some service. They had the previous chance that just missed with Cooley.
And a great pass by Gaucher.
Good pass. Sabrango bailed on what would have been a knee-on-knee. Smart decision.
And a great pass by Gaucher. He was the 13th forward for Canada in the last game. This time it's Riley Kidney who draws in. Now Dufour works in. Dufour walks in, pulls off his stick. Now Sihanic might have got a piece of the way by. McTavish plays it back in. Canada buzzing the Czech goal here as Juracek goes back. Dufour steps into him. Reel back around to Rob. Well, the young man they came to see from the opening day of this tournament, Connor Bedard, has not disappointed.
No.
Halifax and Moncton, buckle up. He's coming there at Christmas.
That much older, that much better, which is hard to imagine.
He has lit it up whenever he's put on this Canadian uniform. As a stop check goes back for it. Inside 3.5 to go. 21 goals in 19 games that Bedard has played for Canada at the under-18s and the World Junior. He's behind the goal now. A centering pass just missed Coase as Rishavi tried to find him. Long point shot taken there by Hamara. That's knocked away in front. And now Rishavi back with it behind the goal. Rishavi throws it back in. The pass away from Coase. Another chance that's whistled wide by Menchie. And again, the Czechs don't back down as Thompson picks it out. Lifts it high in the air. And flipped ahead by Czech. Hoffman swings that rink line for Del Mastro. And Canada settles things down with 2.5 to go here in the opening period.
In a pretty clean period. Czechs have had their chance on the rush, but that's the first time Canada's kind of got tangled up in defensive zone coverage.
Johnston lost the handle there. Mishak plays it ahead. Kulik busting in. It rolls down to Garand. And he'll hang on to that. Kent Johnson, the 19-year-old from Port Moody, BC. He's a man on a mission today, trying to send Canada back to the gold medal game at the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Logic and expected goals. He's leading the tournament, even though he only had one coming in. But he's getting to all the spots you have to go to score. Shots, slot shots, rush chances. That's where you score from. Now, the one he scored was one for the ages with the Michigan lacrosse goal. But he has been around it all the time. And as a player, that's what you tell yourself. Stick with the process. If I keep getting chances, if I keep getting the right spots, eventually the skill will take over. And you may get a puck with a little commemorative moment on it, as Kent Johnson is doing right now.
Stanko for the defensive zone face-off, wins that cleanly. It's not just he wins draws, he wins them.
It's like a practice straight back. Like coach is tossing them back there.
Now Mishak tries to work in. That's taken away by Johnson. Puts it rink wide for Stankoven, and back to Johnson. In across the line he comes. Throws that back in deep for Forster, and Zellweger had it knocked away from him by Mishak, who plays a ton for Czechia. Playing his third World Junior Championship. And now that's icing against Canada. The linesman points definitively to the spot in the ice where he shot it from.
Like, they called lines tight.
Yeah.
But that's a tight slicing call. Zellweger maybe 2 inches behind it, but Either way, they got the right guy on the ice for if you're Canada, with Stankoven on there on his strong side.
See David Spacek there. His dad Yaroslav played the Olympics 3 times, including 1998, Czechia's famous gold medal win in Nagano. They won the World Championship then in 2000 and 2001, won the World Junior both those years. They were the reigning Olympic, World Junior, and World Champions for 2 years. Stankoven moves in, but it's been slim picking since then, at least at this level. Brought in now by Sturt. So back in front, bouncing puck around, knocked that away. Now Spacek fires, he ripped that high. Both back out by Forster as Canada changes. Spacek snaps that pass and came
up into Thompson's cheek.
Hit Jack Thompson up in the face. Sealing. For Waugh. In comes Joshua Waugh, drops it off for Dufour. McTavish with a bouncing puck. And McTavish throws it back in front, just missed Waugh with that pass. On the line, helped by Thompson, shoots. That was blocked in front. Check knocked it down. Rebound, McTavish turned away. Puck loose with the sign of the goal, and finally Johannek able to freeze that. Another Hasek-like move as he gets the blocker hand down on it.
Close calls at both ends.
Yeah.
Suhanik gets a whistle after Duran had to stop one off his own defensive skate. Again, a little bit late getting to the party as Seeley's trying to get in on Goot's stick, and he catches off his skate blade into Garan. And track of the puck, you're not expecting to come off that. Good positioning allows him to make the save. Important for Canada to get through this last minute, get to the intermission up 2.
Still to come tonight, Sweden and Finland in the other semifinal. Never dull when those two teams play. They've played some classics in recent years at this tournament. Now a chance, walking in is Kulik. And that's off the arm of Garan. Up and out.
Hey, what, Kulik, first rounder this past draft, 22 to Buffalo. He's got some wheels. He can really turn people.
So he played in the Czech Extra League this year for Karlovy Vary. He had 9 goals in 49 games, which is pretty impressive for a 17-year-old. He had the most points by a junior player in the Czech League.
And you can see why he'd be hard to handle as he gets older and stronger, but at this level, he just can kind of skate by guys.
We talked about it. The goal of the Czech Federation is keep more of their top prospects at home, and they've developed a lot of players like you've got David Pasternak, you've got Tomáš Hrdl, who didn't come over to play Major Junior, but 11 of the players in this Czech roster, 11 of the 25, did play in the CHL last year. Now Cooley works in.
That's good idea.
Sabrango dropped it back, but the pass handcuffed him. Now he's lost his stick. The Czechs break in. Sabrango without a stick. That centering pass was knocked away by Ostapchuk. And now Canada back 2-on-1. Cooley along with Gaucher. Centering pass, Gaucher in, and the backhand shot rolled off his stick. They had it. Now Gaucher drops that back. Thompson, a sharp angle shot, the stop made. As the horn sounds, and Canada goes to the dressing room with a 2-0 lead after the opening 20 minutes. Kent Johnson and Connor Bedard strike for Canada in the first period with a berth in the gold medal game tomorrow on the line. Our first intermission coming up with James Duffy, Bob McKenzie, Jeff O'Neill, and Cheryl Pounder. You're watching the 2022 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton on TSN.
First period, and what the Americans were not able to do was Canada moving the puck out of their own end cleanly. And it's something Canada wasn't great at the previous couple games and was going to be a real big part of this one. But right from the get-go, the puck battles, the decision-making, and then the skill to make passes under duress have all been there for Canada. It's allowed them to not play on their own end a whole bunch. And eventually, when you give good players good service, they will create chances. And as the period wore along, the more good plays Canada made, the more chances they had to play on the offensive end. And eventually got a goal directly related to a crisp breakout play that ends up on Connor Bedard's stick. Exactly what Dave Cameron was hoping to see. An uptick in execution on breakouts led to a period that was dominated by Canada.
Dave Cameron kind of meditating there for a moment behind the bench, just contemplating what's ahead. Head coach of the Ottawa 67s of the Ontario League. And
he's had to work. It's not like he's just been able to plug and play his lineup. He's shuffled around quite a bit. The Ridley Gregg injury has been a big issue for the team to work through the last few days.
Team start the second period 5-on-5. There's not yet been a penalty called in the game. Oh, there's a quick chance. Garand makes a good stop there. Rebound. And stepping into that was Alice Check. Or that was Juracek, rather. And a great stop by Garand in the early going.
Garand had to be sharp there. Sabrango drops right in front of him. You think the slow-moving puck is obviously going to get blocked by Sabrango. And it just dribbles through his feet right on top of the crease. And good kick save, and hard enough to kick it past Mishak, who was right there on the back door. But so was Garand with the glove and the leg and the adjustment for the next shot as well. Important save early to not let the Czechs get too confident. Little poke, and the next one may be better. Got to recalibrate for the big slapper from Juracek.
We're talking about the fact that 11 Canadians can return. That's a lot for Canada. 19 of the 25 Czechs came. Juracek fired that right. A number of teams have brought younger groups here because there's no relegation. They wanted to prepare them for the 2023 tournament in December in its normal slot. McTavish plays it back in. Connor Bedard's going to have the rare chance to play in 2 World Juniors in Canada. The 2009 and 2010 tournaments were held in Ottawa and Saskatoon, respectively.
So everyone's got a little different way to get prepared. Here's Jan Mishak for the game. Look at him on his phone. The phone is indicating where to move the puck, and it's kind of activating your hands, but activating your mind at the same time to react to what you see on the screen, to move it in a unique way to get loosened up, get the hands warmed up, but the mind turned on as well as part of your warm-up.
So when his parents say, hey, get off your phone. No, I'm working on my stick hand.
I'm working, Mom. I tell my kids when I'm watching TV, I'm working.
So Mastro. Long shot, deflects, backhand shot put wide by Johnson. In behind the goal now, Cormier, lead pass for Forster. Throws that way up in the air. Now brought back out by Sposil. Rick wide pass goes off the skate of Menchik. Up and out.
Great facial expression. Post on the pass off the heel. I was like, ooh, that was not a very good one. Gets bouncing up into your own bench. Sorry about that, boys. Good way to clear a bench out and skip a puck in there.
Sabrango back out there, led all players in the first period with 7 minutes and 44 seconds of ice time. It's a big question for Canada coming into the tournament. Owen Power elected to focus on Buffalo's training camp. Caden Dooley, the Montreal first rounder, was injured. So how would Canada's defense hold up? The top pair of Sabrango and Zellweger has been excellent.
And they're a nice compliment. Sabrango, stay-at-home, physical guy. Zellweger, more offensive, puck mover, and it's been a nice first pairing. Zellweger's piled up a bunch of points. Sabrango has played like the experienced pro that he is, having played in the American League the last couple of years.
It's been great having Sabrango here because his mom went to high school with James Duthie. We're hearing lots of great stories.
It's great for us to hear. Yeah. Not always good for James to hear.
Apparently he was very chatty in high school, we're told. It was a nice call against Canada. Later today, Sweden against Finland in the other semifinal. After the shocking upset in the quarters, the last of the 4 games at Checkea beat the United States.
You kind of were counting on the matchups to be different than this one, but Czechia's upset with Finland and Sweden together, which is never a bad idea when it comes to an important hockey game.
Pretty good Olympic gold medal game in 2006 in Torino. The broken stick for Saku Koivu, the goal that hit Lidstrom. Negotiating for the faceoff has done a little bit of everything for Canada in this tournament. Sturz with a shot, bounces down in front of us. That was blocked by Gaucher. Chipped out by Bedard, and back to center ice. Amaro swings back. Thomas Amaro is a third-round pick of Ottawa in the 2022 draft. Takes that return pass. Snaps it ahead for Goot. Michal Gut works it and shoots from a sharp angle. Garand to stop on that. Bouncing puck move back in front. Hamara. One there by a stop check. Zellweger back with it. At the point, held by Check. Plays it back down to Urban. That skipped away from him, and Zellweger races to it. Sturck stepped into him, but Zellweger finds Desnoyers. Hacek turns it over. Desnoyers to Othman. Then Othman tried to work in, but the Hacek took that away. Urban works it and shoots. Glove down by Garand. The rebound bounces back in front. And that shot went wide by Mahura.
Just 3 minutes into this second period, but the play has been largely in front of Canada's net. Garand has faced several shots. Canada really hasn't had much going the other way. That one is maybe the first bobble that we've seen. He's been locked in all game long. But you know Checkea is not going to go away. They're not going to deviate how they play. They're going to play it the same way. And you really do have to play well to beat Checkea. Stankoven was perfect, and adding to that perfect tally, the face-off circle in the first period. Did not lose a draw, or has not lost a draw in this game.
Stankoven in across the line with Forster. Shoots. It's off the stick of Svozil. Up and out of play. And we talked about this unusual time of the year for the World Junior Championship. Well, for the Grand family, it's pretty special. Dad Lauren is celebrating his birthday tomorrow. When he saw the schedule come out, he saw right away the gold medal games on my birthday.
Be a heck of a gift.
You wouldn't think when his son was growing up that he'd ever have a game in August, but
potential gold medal game on my birthday? That'd be all right.
He, by the way, says, Lauren says Guerin. But his son says Garand.
Well, I leave it up to you and the parents and the kids. We're going Garand. We're sticking with it.
Wow, this is the Tavares thing all over again. Tavares. You played with Zbigniew McCulloch, right?
Yeah.
He and his brother said their last names differently. In comes Mishak, drops it off. Kulik works it and shoots. And Garand makes the glove save.
So something I picked up on Garand, and when he makes his glove save, it's very pronounced, and he does it in warm-up, he does it all the time. He tracks the puck right into his glove. Watch his eyes. There it is, and holds it. It's clearly an intentional degree of focus. Look at him right there. Yeah, I got it. And he does that from the second he steps on the ice for warm-up.
Well, better that than looking behind you a lot.
I suppose.
Hamara shoots. That hits Stankoven. Now picked up by Forster. Up ahead for Johnson. Who had 4 shots in that opening period. Coase. Trump set by O'Mara and back down to the Canadian line as Cormier's back for it. For Johnson. Now bouncing puck for Coase. Loose in front. It's a shot away. And a great job there by O'Rourke on the back check to not take a penalty.
Losing some battles in key spots. Just a bit quicker on it right now. He's got to turn on. There it is. He's got to turn on the skating lines again.
Check up the center ice for Gut. For Sturtz. Works it and shoots. Garand. Bouncing puck. Didn't have it. Still loose. So that time
he wasn't staring at his glove after he caught it.
Gut in the middle of that jam play. Sturtz has a hold of Cormier.
And here the checks come back down, and Garand has it rolled out the top of his glove. He's trying to track it in. You recognize he doesn't have it, and wow, is that ever fortunate? It falls into his pad. You gotta recognize where you are. Ted Johnson at pivotal spot, can't lose a battle there. Cormier, you don't have support quite underneath. You probably don't want to run up to that puck of the red line. You want to just sit back, let the play develop. Instead he runs up, and O'Rourke does a pretty good job not taking a penalty, just making it difficult for the shot from Goots.
Plays for Everett in the Canadian Hockey League. Turned 20 during this tournament. Had 18 goals this year.
71 points. Pretty good offensive season.
Undrafted player for Checkea. I think a number of those Czech players who are undrafted might get a look in 2023. Ivan works in. Ivan spins that back in. Mahura trying to dig that free. Laid back in the corner. Now Thompson goes back for it. As Mahura stepped into him. At the point, the hot check, a long shot, and the save made by Bedard. Now bounces out to Connor Bedard. And at center ice, Gaucher just ran over Jiricek. Bedard taken down by Tahacek. And back comes Checkea the other way. Mahura bounces that down, this time into the midsection of Garand. And Bedard again with a word to the Czech bench on his way by.
Well, you try to drag the puck through everyone's feet. At some point, someone's going to knock you down. It happens. And well, there's one hit. Gaucher skates right through, get back to Bedard, and a little feet tangled up by Tahacek. It could have been a trip, but it's not necessarily dirty. But it's another turnover that Canada has trying to get in the offensive zone, and it puts them on the counterattack for the Czechs. It was a broken change. There was almost too many men. It's been a tough start the second period.
Czechs have the first 8 shots of this second period. Face-off won by McTavish. With McTavish and Stankoven winning a lot of draws. Got a big advantage here so far. Stankoven, as you mentioned, Mike, was 8-0 in the first.
That's a great luxury to have. One's a lefty, one's a righty, so no matter what side, if they're fresh, you're going to get someone on their strongest side in the face-off circle.
McTavish was 6-4. That face-off one away from him. Svozil shoots. And Garand looks that into the glove and hangs on.
Yeah, shots are piling up here. And you mentioned Canada kind of started the first period this way a little bit, where they weren't quite sharp first 3-4 minutes, then really got rolling as the period progressed. Yeah, the same. Get some pucks in below the goal line. They're trying to get to work in the offensive zone.
Czechs have only won 2 games in the tournament. Their opener against Slovakia, they trailed that one 2-0. Then they won their quarterfinal matchup against the U.S. They trailed 1-0 in that one. Lost to Finland, Canada, and then Latvia. As Waugh busts in with Dufour. The centering pass goes off the stick of Svozil. Up and out of play, and Dufour, late bump there on Svozil. They come together in the corner.
Svozil plays for Regina in the WHL, so he's to some of the pushing and shoving after the whistle. Picked up a 5 in a game in their quarterfinal for a knee-on-knee hit against Logan Cooley, but a big, stout defender. The Czechs will have that advantage that they can really roll 3 solid D pairings. They don't have to really hide anybody in their top 3 units.
Face-off, one back and in by Stankoven. Johnson's shot was blocked. And Coach works it away. Johnson got a stick on him as Rishavi works in. Long shot, slide, and now check back on it. Pass picked off in the corner by Cormier for Del Mastro. And Johnson just juggling the puck there for a moment at the end of his stick, and bats it back to the line. Rishavi. Played it back around. Forster's got it. Throws that pass ahead. Here's Johnson on the breakaway. In, and Suhanek makes the stop. Suhanek reaches back on the breakaway chance for Kent Johnson and just keeps it out.
What a look by Forster, though. Kent Johnson leaks out, and Forster with a quick shoulder check. There he is, and he snaps it right on the tape. And Suhanek recognizes, I'm going in. Watch him. He digs his left foot into the ice so that he doesn't slide back below the goal line with the puck caught up in his pads. So I got to stop and kind of twists and contorts the body to make sure that he's able to keep the right side of his body above the goal line. That's where he knows the puck is secured. Oh, it hurts just watching, but he did a good job of it. That's a massive save.
Yeah.
Massive save in the context of this game.
Back at the point. Thompson, is shot knocked away. That was Canada's first shot of the period. It's a breakaway. Seeley fires it wide. Now Desnoyers walks out and shoots. Second chance. And Suhanek turns him away. As Desnoyers gets a couple of looks at the side of the Checkea goal. Kent Johnson on the breakaway. Goes looking for his second. It remains a 2-0 lead for Canada here in the second period of the World Junior semifinal.
So with how about guacamole?
An HBO original series streams Sunday, August 21st and you can only watch it on Crave.
Kent Johnson has been the central figure in this game for Canada. And great recognition by Forrester. Johnson doesn't really get Sohanek moving laterally. He gets him to fight on the fake in that his pads get to the ice. But he never gets going back and forth. That opens up the seams. That is some kind of pass. And Johnson sells backhand. Sohanek fights, goes down, but he's still kind of sliding the straight line, which allows him to get across. And man, there's lots of room underneath the arm of Sohanek, but Johnson elevates just a little bit much. And Sohanek recognizes how close that one was. But he managed to keep it out, keep this game close.
Forster got some games with Lehigh Valley, which is Philadelphia's American League team. He was a first-round pick of the Flyers back in 2020. Lehigh Valley is Allentown, Pennsylvania.
And I wasn't sure what to make of Forster.
Cormier shoots, deflected puck. And from a sharp angle, Stankoven got that away. Sohanek down. He gloves that on Logan Stankoven. And Sohanek would know Stankoven well. And Stankoven plays for Kamloops and Sohanek for Tri-City in the Western Hockey League.
Then you know he's got a lightning quick release. Like, doesn't need to drag it, pull it, flex it. He just steps on it. And watch it pop off his stick. Boom. Tight angle, and Sohanek has to fight it off and squeeze the post. And these are nice moments for Canada, though. The first 4 or 5 minutes of this period, all in Canada's zone. They want to play a little bit more down here in the offensive zone where they're at their best.
Stankoven wins it again. Back at the point, Sullivan shoots. I mean, it's almost at the point now where you can
run his plays because you know he's going to win. Doesn't need help from the wingers diving in.
Forster picks it back out. Banks the puck back to Samarango. Shoots! And that's gloved by Sohanek.
Sohanek keeps working, fighting off these point shots. And they're coming off one face-off by Stankoven.
Sohanek, by the way, will be going to Buffalo's training camp, or rookie camp in the fall.
80 goalies.
Shouldn't say the fall, in like
3 weeks?
Yeah.
4 weeks, yeah. Hopefully all these guys get a couple weeks after this tournament, catch their breath.
I wonder, the guys that played here are going to kind of have a
step up on their game preparation, but not a step up on their summer training.
Right.
And I don't know which one's more important. Like the first few days of camp, they'll be better, but as the year wears on, the gains you can make in your fitness, in your weight, your flexibility, all those things, maybe some of the skill development you can have, maybe not, but those first few days of camp, I would expect anyone from this tournament to be on top of it.
Well, Mason McTavish really wanted to play in this tournament. 16 players from the December roster are back. Of the 8 who aren't, 4 were injured.
Given the year that he had, you chronicled him traveling all around the world playing for all sorts of teams. It would be understandable almost for him to say, you know what, catch your breath.
In comes Toast. Turned around by O'Rourke. And McTavish works the puck free. Spacek knocks it down and shoots. Whistled that wide. Strozo winds and fires. That flutters wide. Cormier back on it. Out to center ice. Bouncing puck. Skozil. Moved past to Minchik as he comes in and plays offside. And the Czechs who are right on that line are hollering at the linesman.
That was a tight one. The guy was going for a change and didn't quite get off. Linesman was emphatic about it. And pay attention. Puck gets up on the bench. Who are you going to count on? Why not the guy who used to be the NHL goalie? Andre Pavlik. One of my favorites. Great guy to talk to. Fantastic career with Atlanta, Winnipeg. Assistant coach. What's funny is he looks like a coach.
He does.
Like Pavs still looks like a player. He looks like a coach now.
I hate to say it. This is going to be terrible, but most goalie coaches don't look like coaches.
No, and most of them actually are not on the bench either.
Well, they stay in their tracksuits the whole time. Goalie coaches are never on the bench.
No. Watch out.
Check. Lined up there by Cooley. In comes Urban. Great move. Walks in. Fed that across. Urban elected not to shoot. And misfiring with Sturz. Here's Cooley back with it. Thompson. Rink wide to Gaucher. Works in and shoots. And Sohanek makes the stop on that. What a move by Urban.
Absolutely undresses Cooley, the forward back there, so you know you got a good chance to go around over Scotia. Sells the shot and by and clean. And it's a good idea to try to pull it backhand pass, but if you just put this one on Garand's right pad, you'll pass off the pad. That is gorgeous. Slides by without being touched. Put it off his right pad. He's going to kick it right up to your oncoming winger on the far post. Pass off the pads for a rebound. Might have worked.
Stankoven against Gut for the face-off here.
Jiricek's like, I'm taking a jump on this one now.
And he wins another one. Johnson spins that back. It was actually Yvonne who took that face-off. Hard to remember a guy having this kind of game in the face-off circle. He's already having a great tournament. Yvonne spins back in the corner, taken away by Cormier. Up ahead now for Forster, who goes rink wide for Johnson. Knocked down by Jiricek, who was injured in the first game of the December World Junior. A knee-on-knee collision took him up for a couple of months. But able to play now here in August and play a lot for Checkea.
Sometimes we watch the highest level players. You're wondering, how do they know where everyone is? And some of it is intuition and hockey sense. But most often it's because you're checking. Watch Forster. He's looking. There's 4 shoulder checks before he touches the puck. So he knows where everyone is. When he finally gets there, he doesn't need to look. Always are scanning and moving your head while you play to try to get grasp of what's happening before the puck's actually on your stick.
Rivera banked that down to the Canadian zone. 11.5 to go here in the second period. Desnoyers sends it ahead. Loves that down. Kahacek feeds it back for Hauser, who scored a big goal against the United States.
Oh, big hit.
Oh, man. Hoffman. And he hammered down Jiricek. In comes Ostapchuk. Works in, he got spun around. No penalty on the play to Jiricek. The crowd hollering about that. Zellweger knocks that down for Hoffman. Leaves it there for Ostapchuk. Throws it back in front. Hoffman the tip. And the stop made by Sahana. In the corner is Hoffman. Both teams changing now. McTavish works in. Takes to McTavish. Down to DeFore. William DeFore. Back for McTavish. Picked up by Shapovalov. But Waugh picked his pocket from behind. Waugh throws it back in the corner. Kahacek banks it high off the glass. And Kulik had that roll off his stick as Thompson picks it back up. Thompson head for DeFore. He's got McTavish with him. DeFore for McTavish. Tip that just wide.
He wants a hook in on the hands on that one as well.
Hasn't been a penalty called in the game yet. Seeley back across to Thompson. Jack Thompson plays that back in. And the officials working these games today. This one of the Sweden-Finland game being evaluated. And the top evaluated officials will work the gold medal game tomorrow. That'll be at 6 o'clock local time, 8 o'clock Eastern. The bronze medal game at 2 o'clock local, 4 Eastern. Johnson plays that ahead. And we got the
event
6 players on the ice for Checkea.
I don't know why they're blowing it down, though.
Johnson plays that ahead. And we got the event 6 players on the ice for Checkea.
I don't know why they're blowing it down, though.
First power play of the game will go to Canada at the 2022 World Junior Semifinals in Edmonton.
Show the world what it.
You could feel that there might be a penalty coming up sooner than later as Checkea got a little bit loose with their sticks, and sure enough, they eventually get one. Here's the first one. Ostapchuk. That's a pretty good can opener into the hands on an open arm. That's usually a call. And then McTavish going back door. So it's not the stick lift, it's the corkscrew off the hip that makes it a hooking penalty. And then they finally commit an infraction that they can't really make a decision on by having 6 guys on the ice. Urban's out there when his guy did not come off.
Right.
And so there's no real decision to be made when you have 6 guys out there and the puck on your stick.
So Canada, the power play is 6 for 11 in the tournament. 6 different goal scorers on the power play. McTavish, Bedard, Stankoven, Johnson the forwards, Zellweger the point man. And in comes Kent Johnson. Has a goal in the game already. Canada's got the last 7 shots in this period. Zellweger taps it back in front. Bedard can't get the shot away. And Sturz knocks that back for Gut, who plays it out. Checkea's allowed 6 power play goals on 14 opposition attempts. The worst penalty killing percentage in the tournament. Now McTavish winds in and rolls off his stick. And play to the line and out by Jiricek. Johnson. Feeds that back to Johnson. Back to Zellweger. To Johnson. Try to center it again. Stankoven. Shoots. Tip on goal. Hit the goal post. Mason McTavish got his stick on it and hit the pipe. 45 seconds to go on the power play. In comes Stankoven. Shoots. Scores! Morgan Stankoven. Power play goal. It's 3-0 Canada.
A chance here for McTavish earlier. Wide open net. He tips it off the post. You're thinking that's got to be Canada's best chance. And Anita McTavish cannot believe it. Wide open net. He tips it off the post. You're thinking that's got to be Canada's best chance. And Anita McTavish cannot believe it. Ken Johnson, I'm sorry. And then on a line change. That's a bad line change by Checkea. Suhanik's thinking about both players. If you watch as that puck is released. As families are enjoying that one as they finally players. If you watch as that puck is released. One as they finally find a couple bad changes. One for the too many men, and then one on the line change. End up giving the power play, and then eventually the goal.
And that's the news, not the sports, on the Czech bench right now. From head coach Radim Rulik. That was Wes and Deanna Stankoven looking on. Their son had an amazing playoff run for Kamloops. 17 goals in 17 postseason games. 4 hat tricks. As Kamloops got all the way to the conference final. Tony drops it back and Gaucher hits the post. So another power play goal for Canada. Stankoven has his second man advantage goal. Cormier back to O'Rourke with a shot that was blocked. Backhand shot by Gaucher. And a penalty coming to Canada here.
Why is there 6 people on the ice for Canada?
Well, that would be a problem.
What are they doing?
And that was not for a short length of time.
No, they were playing it out.
Team Canada, benchmark, playing with too many men on the ice.
And for quite a while.
That's a really bad timing for Canada. All the momentum, great little feed here. Oh, Ken Johnson. Yeah, I'll draw him 3 and send my guy in. And Suhanik got too much to worry about. Stankoven showing that form that made him a playoff hero and the CHL Player of the Year. That release, he's showing it now. You know, he was a little quiet early on in the tournament. Not anymore. He has been so good the last couple games.
So Canada that wasn't a bad change by Canada. That was 6 guys in the play.
I saw the 6th guy, and I immediately turned to see it. I didn't know Garand went off. It's like
there's 3 and 3. Yeah, that's 6 guys in the play.
That's a clean 6.
So Checkea on the power play. They're 2 for 12 on the man advantage. It's let them down at times in the tournament. But a chance now to climb back in it. Mishak feeds that back down to Shapovalov for Kulik. Kulik. The centering pass bounces back in front. Mishak tries to bank that off Garand. The puck still loose, and Dylan Garand got it long enough. And then Mishak tapped that into the net after the whistle. That'll irritate Canada.
It's a couple close calls on Garand off deflections, on broken plays that were not intentionally coming in to his pads. And he's been so locked in the right spot that even when it's a broken play off a skate or a stick, he's able to make the save and then stay with it all the way to the player behind the net. There's the one that was a broken play, but good stick discipline by Garand. It's easy when goalies get lazy or push suddenly. That stick kind of hangs to the right side. He keeps it right in the 5-hole, which he needed to stop the chance.
7.5 to go here in the second period. Kulik works back in. Kos bangs that back to Jiricek. That long shot cut through. Garand made the stop. The rebound cleared up by Kulik. Juracek holds the line. Swings it back across. And a centering pass picked away by Kulich. And Ostapchuk has it back and banks that back down to the Czechia zone. Brought in by Kulich, but a little delay at the blue line. Puts Czechia offside. 57 seconds to go in this power play. A number of times in this tournament, Czechia has had a chance to gain some momentum on the power play, and it just hasn't happened.
No, they tried something different there. They tried to set it up from behind the net, which they haven't done a whole lot of throughout this tournament. They have talented players up front, but maybe not. Juracek can shoot it, but they don't necessarily may have the big puck skating zone entry helper defenseman. Got to get them set up.
Gaucher had that knocked away, and Desnoyers plays it back down to the Czech zone. Desnoyers tied for the Quebec League lead with 5 shorthanded goals this year, along with Nathan Gaucher. They both had 2 shorthanded goals in one game. Time winding down the Czechia power, but Canada's quite happy to keep the puck there. The tracking device not needed in that puck. It's not going anywhere.
Gee, but still working by them in that scrum. Good battle, good battle. Sometimes penalty killing is just about battles being won. And Canada did a good job to get the clearance.
Skozil up for Goot. 3 shots for Czechia on that power play. It's rolled wide by Urban. So an opportunity missed there for Czechia. As Urban centers it, and that was knocked down by Waugh. They'll clear it out, and now Sabrango has it back. Sabrango for Waugh, chops at that, and the puck loose at center ice. Donovan Sabrango.
Penalty coming up to Czechia for slashing Waugh's stick out of his hand. So now Garand can go, and now they can put a 6th player out of there. Up at 7, though. Make sure the right guy, just one guy jumps.
Johnson comes out as the extra skater.
Should always be Johnson or Bedard jumping for the goaltender.
Dufour moves that in, and Zahacek touches up, and with 5 to go in the second period, Canada's going back to the power play. Moments after, Logan Stankoven scored the man advantage. And the native of Kamloops delights mom and dad.
Great. Everyone's jumping to Bedard. Pass it through his feet. If you want to go through his feet from Stankoven to Johnson, and yes, Bedard doesn't get to touch it, that guy will be wide open. So we'll see. Either that or Bedard's got to get further away from the net because he's getting closed off in his current spot in the bumper in the high slot.
Face off won by Mishak. And that was very high off the glass. Knocked down by Stankoven. For Johnson, to McTavish, back across to Bedard. Connor Bedard, back across to Johnson. Winds it down to McTavish. Mason McTavish feeds that back for Zellweger. Back across to Stankoven, to Zellweger. Holds, feeds across. McTavish on holding up, and his stick betrayed him. Now it's bouncing back in front as Johnson tried to bank that off Suhanek. Mishak comes in short-handed, steered away by Garand.
We've seen that rotation work already once for a McTavish power play one-timer goal where he slides over and lets it go.
Knocked down now by Johnson. McTavish with a new stick, in shoots, and whistle that just high. Bouncing puck is picked up by Coase and sends it down the ice. Roland Zellweger up ahead to Johnson. Kent Johnson pivots back, drops it off to McTavish. And Canada gets set up. As Johnson has it, winds, feeds it across. McTavish scores! Second chance, and a 4th goal for Canada.
Kent Johnson is putting on an absolute clinic with the puck in this game. It is crazy what he's doing. They try this one time. McTavish explodes his stick. So, any paying attention on the bench, right? On the back check, full slide. That's a good job by the equipment staff to get it from McTavish. Obviously picked him up. Watch Kent Johnson frees everybody with this fake slapper. Everybody, including Soharnik, is drawn in and drawn out to Kent Johnson. And that leaves a pretty easy one-timer for McTavish. Wide open net, tons of space, perfect pass, and a nice finish with the new twig from Mason McTavish. And the power play comes through when Canada needs it in the second period.
2 more power play goals, now 8 for 13. McTavish leads the tournament with 8 goals and has 15 points. He's 2 goals away from tying the single tournament goal scoring record for Canada. He's 3 points away from tying that single tournament record for Canada. Head back, Cormier. Has that go off a stick? Up and out.
So Canada didn't start the second period great, but they worked their way into it, and they got the offensive zone. They draw some penalties, and then their good players made really good plays. Smart all the way around. McTavish, watch where he is. So just outside the face-off circle, almost gets to the exact same spot. I want it right here, just on the pen. It's 6 inches away from the previous spot. That's his angle. Give him a stick that works. He'll find a way to get to the back of the net.
Dale McCourt and Braden Shen share the Canadian point record with 18 points each in one World Junior Tournament. John Anderson and McCourt share the record for goals, 10 each, in the very first World Junior Championship in 1977. Pass across was interrupted by Sabrango and brought back by Bedard.
He got 3.
Will Cooley works in. Cooley throws it back in front. That's kicked away by Soharnik. Thompson plays it back in. A 4-0 lead here for Canada late in the second period.
Same message as late in the first period. Finish it strong.
Back at the point is Sabrango. Feeds it back across to Thompson. Thompson shoots, but that's just wide. Sabrango back on it. Zellweger just put on the power play for Canada. So Thompson comes on as Bedard backhands that. It's tipped over the glass by Gaucher, up and out of play.
And Bedard, such high standards, already got one beautiful goal. Still a little frustrated he couldn't find the back of the net on that backhand. But he's done a good job. You see him internalizing some of the frustration. He wants to score all the time. He's on the power play, but he hasn't had the looks, but the team has scored, so he's happy with that. He's been given different roles, different line mates. He's dealt with maybe some abbreviated ice time. And he's kind of kept a positive attitude and stayed productive throughout the whole tournament.
It's tough. When we talked to Connor McDavid back in December about his 16-year-old year, we talked to Sidney Crosby about it. It's not easy. Look, it's hard for 17 and 18-year-olds to do well in this tournament. So it's...
And he is doing very well.
And he is. There's so much pressure. Right? There's so much attention paid to him. Sealing. Said that back in front. Waugh just missed the deflection. Now back at the point, held by Sealing. Ronan Sealy throws that back in the corner for Joshua Waugh. Back at the point is Del Mastro. He shoots. He fired that just wide. Held by Sealing. This so-called Checkea line goes back to work. Just a reminder, it's 250 goal scorers. The guy who started the year in the NHL and scored in his first game. Just to be clear.
The shutdown group.
Yes. There's a nice call against Canada. Mason McTavish played 29 junior games in the regular season, scored 20 goals.
Everybody on this Team Canada is an offensive star. They expect to produce. They've always evaluated their performance by their production. And you kind of have to put that all aside for a couple of weeks. Look out in front of the net wide open.
That was Ventura standing there all alone. Now a point shot by Check. And Garand makes the glove save on that.
That was tipped, I think, by Yvonne. But you can't have this happen under 2 minutes left in the second period. Playing a good game, win the defensive zone faceoff. You can't have Sealy and Del Mastro in the corner at the same time and Nahura standing all by himself alone in front, and then it's a broken coverage. Oh, look at this one. Pinball wizard all the way in, but Garand finds it somehow and squeezes it. It's just all little details, and the guys at the bench are getting cold shots on it right now. Sealy and Del Mastro are finding out exactly what went wrong on that last faceoff.
Nothing like instant feedback.
Yeah, they don't play together all the time. So much of that for D partners is who's going to go and when to read and where do they want it. It just becomes a thing about chemistry.
Here come Johnson, Forster, and Stankoven again. Johnson winds his way in. Hold, pivots, drops it off now to Zellweger, walks it and shoots. And Zahanik makes the stop on Olin Zellweger. We would see Zahanik a lot playing for Everett in the Western League.
Zellweger never looks like he's tired when he's skating. He always looks like he's got fresh legs. Compliment to his fitness and his stride. And wouldn't you know it, Kent Johnson just lulling in two, getting another zone entry, seeing up another teammate for an opportunity.
Zellweger and McTavish, both Anaheim draft pick. They've got 7 prospects in this tournament. There's Anaheim. Detroit leads the way with 9.
Zellweger doing everything he's doing in this tournament, largely playing on his offside.
Right.
Because there are no righties. Just Jack Thompson, the only right-handed shooting defenseman.
Sturz works it on Sabrango, drops that back, and bottom of a shot put it high. Minutes to go now in the second period. Sabrango works that free. Forster goes back for it. Sabrango feeds it back across to Zellweger. Donovan Sabrango playing cat and mouse with Jan Mysak. Now throws that pass ahead for Zellweger. Chipped ahead by Waugh. The bouncing puck on the stick of before, trying to center it. And that's broken up by Hamara. Up ahead for Mysak. In comes Mysak, drops it back. Check, shoots. That's going to have a chance. 2-on-1 for Canada. McTavish feeds it ahead. Before stays on side. No, he doesn't.
That is unfortunate. McTavish can't believe he couldn't get the puck through. And it's one of those ones in the current way the game's played, like you let it go because if you miss it, see is that control? Is that toe on the line as it's control? I would argue anytime he has the puck going that slow. Like, watch his left foot. If the puck's on his blade when his left foot's on the... No, he hadn't touched it yet. No. Had he touched it momentarily, then he could back over it like that.
Bit of a sore subject here in Edmonton.
I know.
Cale
Makar, same rules apply, though.
Yeah.
You touch it outside, and you don't need to touch it going over. That was a guy clearing, much more complex. But
yes.
McTavish makes that pass without it having tipped.
By the way, no one in this city wants to hear that explanation.
Except that it's right, but yes.
Menchik brings it back out. And at the horn, a little pushing and shoving at the blue line, but Canada extends its lead with goals by Stankoven and McTavish. A 4-0 advantage heading for the third period with a spot in the gold medal game on the line. You're watching the 2022 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton on TSN. Our second intermission coming up with James Duffy.
It dividends with an incredible performance through 40 minutes. He's had the puck on the string, and yeah, he scored a goal, which is nice, but as a passer, I can appreciate just how often he gets the puck and puts it in good spots for the people that are on the ice with him. Forwards or defensemen, 5-on-5 or on the power play. He just makes so many good decisions with the puck that he would be a pleasure to play with. And 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points on the night. He's having himself a good time for a breakout game offensively, but he's really showing the offensive skill set that made him such a high pick, 5th overall to Columbus. He's been a dynamic player when they've needed him to be. We talked about Stankoven's line needed to be good offensively, scoring the goals. They certainly have come through today.
So Canada begins the third period with a 4-0 lead, a chance to go to the gold medal game for the 5th time in the last 6 years. Canada lost the gold medal game in this arena in 2021. 1 gold in 2020 in Ostrava in the Czech Republic. 2018, 1 gold in Buffalo, and lost in that famous shootout in 2017 in Montreal against Team USA.
So if you're Canada, comfortably up 4-0, you've had a good game so far. You really want to focus on just the first 5 minutes. Just get into the third period, playing a very conservative, responsible way, and don't give Checkea any reason to get excited about a comeback. And if you do that, you should be in good shape to find yourself in another gold medal game.
So Brango punks that down on goal, and Sohanek makes the save on that. You can't really blame Sohanek for any of the Canadian goals that haven't been.
No, I mean, it's been really nice plays last period. Just breakaway, a one-timer with lots of traffic. The first period, scrambled plays. He's been good and busy. I mean, Canada does have great goal scorers. They just have guys across their roster that can finish.
We got a new Czech goalie, and not just new to this game, new to the tournament, Pavel Kajan. Plays for Kitchener in the OHL.
Why did they do that?
Not dressed. He's not dressed for a game yet in the tournament.
I mean, you know what? They're probably resting Sohanek for tomorrow. That's what the thought was.
So a tight turnaround in the bronze medal game tomorrow. But for the losing team tonight, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
The 6 o'clock local start tonight into a 2 p.m. start for the bronze medal game tomorrow.
Because this is really no time in the semifinals to think about getting everyone on the ice. But if you kind of consider this game, it's going to be tough to come back against Canada.
Cormier shoots, it bounces back in front. Canada had the choice of which semifinal it wanted to play, and obviously chose the earlier game. Give yourself a little bit of a longer rest.
Was that choice because they finished first in the round robin, or because the
host team gets the automatic choice?
Right.
Get that right.
But as it stands, Canada is also the top seed, so
either way would work.
Dressing room choice is based on the host team first, then finished the year before. So Canada took the Edmonton Oilers room.
And it's cavernous.
Oh, apparently it's 20,000 square feet.
They got all kinds of like weight room and dining room and you name it.
There's actually a field turf track in there. Hoffman shoots, it's kicked away.
Got to warm up somehow. Can't be running on concrete. I mean, you can. Not if you don't have to.
It's got a sled too, like you push a sled on it. It's got the whole bit.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Cheyenne, undrafted goaltender, free agent to Cleveland in the American League next year. Mitchell played for Kitchener at a .905 save percentage. Played in the playoffs. Played 44 games. They upset London in the first round of the playoffs. So Sohanek will be rested for the bronze medal game tomorrow if the Czechs do play in that. And it's worth pointing out that he's playing for a medal, which will be their first since 2005, a bronze in Grand Forks, North Dakota. David Krejci was a star on that team for Czechia. They beat the United States, including Phil Kessel, Ryan Suter.
And so lots to play for. I mean, Czechia should be able to rally pretty quickly for that opportunity for tomorrow.
It's a big deal. And it's, you know, I mean, never mind the fact that it's way better to win one of those games than lose it. But to take a medal home. Checkea, we mentioned 20 years ago, was the dominant nation in men's hockey. I mean, it wasn't even close. They had the Olympics, back-to-back world championships, back-to-back world juniors, but it has been a drought since then. Of course, no Russia again in this tournament. The double backhand shot by Kulik was turned away by Garand. Russia was to host the upcoming World Junior Championship, which was awarded to Halifax and Moncton. Russia was also to host the World Championship next spring. But it's hard. Big hit there as he slammed into Czech.
A big Czech. Czech is a big guy too, 6'2", 200 pounds.
And Bedard goes at him again. Seems to have the bee in his bonnet about Alice Czech.
I think if anyone who tries to check him in any capacity, he doesn't enjoy it.
Back at the line is Jiricek. Jiricek plays it back around. And before lifts that back out. Here's Jiricek. There's been no official announcement yet, but because Russia and Belarus aren't officially sanctioned by the IIHF, they're still members. But their national teams will not play in international competitions through the end of the calendar year 2023. Duran runnels up high around the glass. Nimitz knocks it down. In for Rishavi. Back at the point is Nimitz. That shot got through, and Duran knocks that away. Picked up by Svozil. Went wide to Nimitz.
Each period for Canada has been a little bit of a sleepy start.
Bond moves in, and Duran, the glove save on that, and he hangs on.
Checkea's had the puck in the offensive zone. Not too many forays in here. How about Connor Bedard? And after a much bigger check, you get him once, you might go get him again. It's great to see. But I think this first one, his face might hit Connor Bedard's boot. There it is. He kind of gets the back of the leg into the visor nose area. A little slow to get up. Doesn't have the benefit of the full visor that Connor Bedard has to wear.
Which Bedard will have to wear in Halifax and Moncton at the Christmas tournament. He'll be there barring something unforeseen. One of 11 Canadian players who's eligible to come back at Christmas, and the early reports are that ticket sales are very brisk for that tournament. Right now, only season ticket holders for the Moncton Wildcats and Halifax Mooseheads are able to buy ticket packages.
Well, if you get one, you're going to see this guy and you're going to see him score goals. I mean, he puts on a Canada jersey. That's what he does.
Spot check, shoots, that goes wide. Here's Forster back on it.
And you wonder, now it's only, what, that's 4 months away, but it's half a season, I suppose.
It's under 100 days, I think.
But how much better he'll be. More comfortable, more confident, bigger role than the already pretty big role he has in this team.
Check. Up for spot check. That's knocked away. And Yvonne lost the handle of Stankovic. Drops it off to Johnson. Kent Johnson works his way in. That's knocked away by Jiricek. Zellweger steps up, and the puck moved by Desnoyers and back to center ice.
Canada, they keep playing well defensively. They can roll 4 lines because they've leaned on McTavish a lot in this tournament, and Stankoven's line a lot in this game, last couple games. And so maybe you can just kind of roll through all 4 would be nice for Dave Cameron.
McTavish lays it high in the air. That's batted out. So the 2021 tournament was played here in a bubble. The 2022 tournament at Christmas was postponed after 5 days. As Nimitz shoots at the flex away due to a COVID outbreak. And we finally get this in August. And for the players born in 2002, many of whom had not played in this tournament before, important that they get the tournament in. The IIHF made it clear they wanted the tournament played. Those players deserve a chance to play it. The IIHF got all of its tournaments in last year. As McTavish moves in, a penalty coming out of Checkea.
Finally gets the hook he's been searching for all game.
He's been asking for 2 periods. He finally gets it in the third, and Canada back to the power play with a 4-0 lead. Penalty coming out of Checkea.
Finally gets the hook he's been searching for all game.
He's been asking for 2 periods. He finally gets it in the third, and Canada back to the power play with a 4-0 lead. Connor Bedard, a big part of the story, trying to send Canada to a gold medal game here at Edmonton.
Right. And
looking forward to that.
That will be fun. The animosity is real between those 2 countries on the ice, and here you see the hook right on the hands of McTavish. He kind of had a little grip on that stick as well.
Canada's 2 for 2 in the power play in the game, 8 for 13 in the tournament. Here's Bedard with it. Bounce out back to Johnson to Zellweger. Back across to Johnson, a hard shot. He ripped that wide. Knocked down by Stankoven. Logan Stankoven. And Rishavi can't clear it out. Knocked down with a good hands play by Bedard. And Bedard works it free. 2 checks on him, and they knock it out as Rishavi played it back out. And here is Zellweger. Olin Zellweger. Drops that back to McTavish, a fellow Anaheim draft pick. McTavish drops it off to Johnson. Kent Johnson back down to McTavish. Johnson from the corner. Feeds it back across. Stankoven looking for a backdoor tip by McTavish. He just missed.
I split the difference between Bedard and McTavish.
Johnson back across to Stankoven. The pass is in his skates. Stankoven trying to work that free. Gut slipped into him. Johnson holds the line. Johnson in, shoots, fires that wide. Zellweger, Stankoven, McTavish. Back to Zellweger. Works it back across. McTavish, a hard shot. Stop made by Checkea. Zellweger. McTavish, rink wide. Johnson in, back across to McTavish. Mason McTavish. Back for Zellweger. To Stankoven. Zellweger. McTavish shoots off the goalpost. Now Zellweger here. McTavish fires again. And China makes the save.
And you wonder whose family that is. Mason McTavish's brother is a dead ringer for him. And here's that play they set up well. And Bedard didn't quite look for it. McTavish didn't quite get there. And
facial expressions too.
I think that one actually caught the top of Giant's stick.
Right.
And deflected aside. They'd have to be proud of how Mason McTavish has played in this tournament all year long. Following him around the world, really, last couple of years.
From Carp, Ontario. Now brought in by Waugh, works him. 3 shots on goal for Canada on that power play. And a rolling puck. Mahura works in and shoots. Glenn makes a save in tight. Lucas Cormier, the 2-time Quebec League Defenseman of the Year, scored 33 goals last year in 62 games for Charlottetown in the Quebec League.
And then you see Riley Kidney on the ice.
His first shift, I believe. I've not seen him.
Yeah.
So he's the 13th forward. Ridley Gregg injured for Canada in the quarterfinal.
What's wild is Riley Kidney had 100 points last year. He can't crack the lineup. Led the Q in assists with 70.
Native of Enfield, Nova Scotia, plays for Acadie Bathurst in the Quebec League. He's the first player in a decade with 100 points for that franchise. He actually played in Canada's first game. And Kidney taken down in the corner. Whoa, big hit at center ice. Literally, that's rather Shapovalov ran into Thompson. Now, Ostapchuk brings it back. Zach Ostapchuk pulls in, shoots. Trans lost his goal stick. And brought back the other way. Chance there for Mishak scores. Mishak puts it by Graham, and the Czechs are on the board with 9:06 to go in the third period.
Mishak has been the offensive catalyst with his 5th of the tournament. And saw a lot of these kind of 4-on-3, 4-on-4 rushes early in the period, and Mishak takes a drop pass, just slings it far side, and it's almost like Duran's blocker was distracted. Yeah, they move it too fast or caught the inside of the cuff and knocked it back against the grain. Yeah, kind of overreacted to it through the pile and on the inside of the hand and in behind him. So we'll see if Checkea, 9 minutes left. Crazy things can happen. We'll see if they come with a big push.
Coach back with it. And across to Hatchak. Zellweger had that knocked away for a moment. Got his back up. And up ahead for McTavish. Brought in by Dufour. And Dufour had his pocket trick by Rishav, who played for Moose Jaw last year in the Western Hockey League. Scored against Canada in the round robin game. The short-handed goal that gave Checkea the 1-0 lead. Dufour for Waugh.
Scored by number 19, assisted by
Now McTavish at the side of the goal, had it swept away. Picked up by Stefan Nemitz. He got bumped, and now Dufour back the other way. As Waugh jumping in. Dufour for Waugh. That pass knocked away by Check. Ruban has it taken by Waugh. In comes Desnoyers. And Desnoyers spins back. To a stop Check. And now Check on his pocket pick by Desnoyers. Feeds it back. Off with a shot that was blocked by Goots. And it's back down the Canadian zone as Ryan O'Rourke of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds goes back for it. Hoffman. Back for Desnoyers. Brought in by Mahura. And Mahura taking down a penalty coming to Canada here. Sposio drops it back. Hauser shot that was blocked by Othman. That took a bite out of him as Othman took that in the right foot. Checkea is on the board and going to the power play as O'Rourke goes off.
Why do I love college hockey? That's why I love college hockey.
Checkea's got one on the board. You're thinking, well, just don't go to the penalty box. They can play 5-on-5, but Checkea draws the penalty on Ryan O'Rourke. Loses inside position. With the hands caught up, the stick caught up in the hands of Mahura, and obvious call to make. And one more look at that goal. Another rush opportunity against Zabrango. Del Mastro get pushed back a little too far, and hey, goaltenders, you know what? I don't like anything in my net at any time, so get that thing out of there. I'm not waiting for the linesman to come pull it out of the net. I'm drilling around and getting out of there right away. Now, you want him to get through this penalty kill. You got to be sharp, re-engage. It felt like the game kind of might just be grinded away, but don't want it to get interested.
McTavish for the face-off against Mishak. The two Hamilton Bulldog teammates went all the way to the Memorial Cup final together. McTavish joined them after the trade deadline. He was dealt by Peterborough after returning to junior hockey. Played for Anaheim and their American League team in San Diego. Back at the point. Score! Check from the point. Power play goal, and Checkea is within 2 with 7:16 to go.
A bad penalty to take. The team have to kill it, and not able to do so. The initial pressure off the scrum draw was handled nicely by Checkea, keeping him alive, winning a puck battle there, and now things settle down, round the horn, and Duran just can't find it around Goot. Well, that's a great, what an excellent, that's an amazing shot. Goes by everyone, just skipping past everything off the post and in. Perfect shot with that traffic in front. And now, tons of time, 7:15. Just 2 goals. You got a goaltender who's
Cheyenne
was put in almost as a mercy play.
But Cheyenne actually had a pretty good year for Kitchener in the OHL. He did 65 saves in a game this year.
But it's not like he's going in the game because they think he's going to hold the fort. They're going in the game because they're conceding it.
Right.
By taking out the starter to rest him. I don't know whether they can do their job or not. It's that strange to put him in there.
We mentioned he hadn't dressed for a game yet. Like as a backup even.
This is...
the line. No. By the way, you may be wondering why the uniforms say Czech Republic when they want to be called Checkea. Due to supply chain issues, the new uniforms have not yet arrived, apparently. So Checkea, formerly known as the Czech Republic.
It never feels good when you're in there at an important time to get a goal against. Gaucher and McTavish, the two forwards, neither one of them quite squared up with the one-timer. They were both around it, but not right in front of it. And a good shot.
The goals a minute and 50 seconds apart. Czech score on back-to-back shots. So just get one before the 2-minute mark. Then you get the goalie out.
Yeah,
yourself a chance.
Completely feasible now.
Urban works in.
We'll see what kind of composure Canada can have defending. If you can make them defend.
Cormier. Snaps that pass to center ice for Johnson. And that's an icing call, although Johnson thought he was there first. 6:12 to go in the third period.
Now the good news, Stankhoven still on the ice.
Right.
He was incredible, 16 to 17?
Yeah, it was 16 out of 17 faceoffs the first two periods.
Unheard of at any level.
And he wins that one. I mean, and again, he doesn't scramble it. He wins it clean.
Yeah. And so as you try to finish off a game, the key is you got to move your feet and you have to make plays. Not offensive plays, but just passes. You have to pass the puck up the ice. Otherwise, you end up in this kind of situation. Win a face-off, don't know what to do, you shoot it down, and now Checkea is able to put their first line out there and get an offensive face-off. You just have to make plays to finish the game off.
Shapovalov will step in for the face-off against Stankhoven. Wins another one. Maybe they could just keep winning the face-off, keep icing it, and run the clock out.
How many one face-off and icing could take you up for 6 minutes?
Johnson goes back. We might be about to find out. Icing waved off all that time as the hot check goes back. Plays it around to Jiricek. Slammed down by Stankhoven. Before, back across to Zellweger. Works it back across. Champlain for Waugh scores! Joshua Waugh with a big goal for Canada. Restores the 3-goal lead.
What a play by Logan Stankhoven. He talked about it. He starts the whole thing. He wins another face-off. They flip it. He's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to sit back. I'm getting the forecheck. I'm turning it over. I'm running over the much bigger Jiricek. And it's that play that sets up this quick little play. And how about the sweet hands on Joshua Waugh? Good look by Zellweger. He'll pick up another point. But the little slow dragger five-hole, and Cheyenne, you know, he hasn't been in the game very long. He's in a tough spot, tries to go with the poke check, but a little overexcited with it, and the good hands of Waugh tucks it in. And that will let everyone breathe a little easier on the Canadian bench.
51 goals on the year for Waugh. For sure, look at the Quebec League. I mentioned the two wingers on Canada's checking line have 50-plus goals. Now check fires, that's knocked away. Reaching for it. There's Gaucher. Sabrango plays it back ahead. The puck was played with a high stick. Play called. 5:02 to go here in the third period. Joshua Waugh, the Montreal Canadiens' fifth-round pick, a native of St. George, Quebec, has given Canada some breathing room. A 5-2 lead here in the third period.
Secure the win. But here's Stankhoven. This is his third face-off in a row in the defensive zone. He wins another one. Keeps the play alive, wins a battle. Gets on his horse, negates the icing. Wisely elects to change at the right time instead of chasing an offensive play late in the game. But because of all those little details, the skill of Joshua Waugh tucks it home and makes it 5-2 Canada. And he'll pick up a plus and the recognition from his teammates that he had himself good sequence.
Joshua Waugh has been up and down the Canadian lineup. He started with McTavish and Bedard. As that puck bounces away from Rishavi, who's back up with McTavish today and before. Stavchuk thrown down there by Sposil. At the point, Del Mastro sends it back around. To Gaucher. Gets down to a stop check. Back at the line is Cormier. Long shot deflects wide. Svozil steps away. Svozil, a Columbus third-round pick. Columbus pretty well represented this World Junior as well. 5 drafted players.
So much value in playing important games to win something at any level, at any time.
Play against your peers.
Playing against the best in the world at your age, which a lot of these European pros certainly don't get a chance to do because they're playing in the men's leagues.
Inside 4 to go. It's been a long road for the 16 players for Canada that were on the December roster. Some of whom had to fight to come here. Their NHL teams might not have wanted them to attend. But they wanted to be part of it. And now it's looking more and more they'll get a chance to play for gold tomorrow. And a long-awaited gold medal game here in Edmonton. After 2021 was played in a bubble. And the December tournament was postponed. Stankoven back after Mishak. We mentioned that in the last season, with this tournament being played, every scheduled IIHF tournament was played. Through every division, men's and women's. That shot deflects wide. That was a Herculean feat through a pandemic to get that done. Sealing around to Forster. At the end of this game, we'll get the player of the game for each team and the top 3 players for each team for the tournament, and then the national anthem of Canada.
You don't want to wait for a bronze medal celebration and try to do this after the fact of after the games tomorrow, so it makes sense.
Disposal, a sharp angle shot. Ran the save. It bounced off his mask and dropped down to the side of the crease. And Del Mastro's got it back. Ivan drops it back. Del Mastro lays that back around. Inside 2 to go here in the third period. Nimitz works it back ahead. And Denway went launching there at Mahura. Owen Zellweger gains center ice and flips that head. Zellweger's had an amazing tournament for Canada. Now Rishavi swings that rink wide. Pass it to Minchie. And Waugh back on it. Spacek goes back and icing waved off. Still to come, Sweden and Finland tonight. The second gold medal spot on the line in the second semifinal game. The Swedes have some demons they need to exercise. In medal round games. 1 gold medal win for them in the last 40 World Juniors.
No better way to do it than against the arch rival Finland to get to a gold medal game and play against the host Canadians, it looks like.
In comes Goot. Holds and shoots. It goes off his stick. Up and out of play.
It's taken a while to get here, but decision desk has called it in the gold medal game. Canada, Checkea, full credit in the bronze medal game. They should be able to rally emotionally and get up for that one, but a lot of pressure on these kids every time they play for Canada, when they play at the World Juniors, when they play in Canada, to get to a gold medal game, and yet they keep finding ways to do so.
Different time of year, but a similar result. For the 5th time in the last 6 World Juniors, Canada will play in the gold medal game. And we'll seek its 4th gold medal in the last 8 years. 5-2 the final score. It's on to the gold medal game tomorrow night for Canada. And a nice touch by the local PA playing La Bamba. Today, this morning, there was a funeral procession for young Ben Stelter, a huge Edmonton Oilers fan, a fixture in this community who passed away this week. So, nice touch playing the song they always played for him at the rink, La Bamba.
Not lost on the Edmonton crowd, the significance of that song. More so the significance of this win for Canada in the semifinals.
Canada now 6-0.
And it really is an evolution of the team. It's a 12-day tournament, but a lot changes, a lot of iterations of roles and lines and responsibilities, and Canada's found a way to navigate it all to get to the gold medal game.
Hand-painted by one of Canada's most prolific contemporary Indigenous visual artists, Jason Carter. The prizes will be presented by Grace and Terry O'Flynn, co-chairs of the 2022 IIHF World Junior Championship.
It's got to be Stankhoven or Johnson in this one.
The best player of Team Checkea est le numéro 4, number 4, Yuri Chihacek.
Chihacek, the 19-year-old defenseman.
The best player of Team Canada est le numéro 13, number 13, Ken Johnson.
Yes, sir. No brainer.
Right to the opening face-off.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell. And big-time player, big-time moment. He was fantastic.
Mamanita. Now we're at the top.
And now for the 3 best players of the 2022 IIHF World Junior Championship for Team Checkea and Team Canada. The 3 best players are selected by their teams and will each receive a Tissot watch. The watches will be presented by Gary Mulvaney, Tissot Regional Manager, Western Canada, and Rick Ostrom, Managing Director of Tissot Canada. The 3 best players of Team Checkea are number 3, le numéro 3, David Spacek.
Like father, like son.
Number 19,
nice time.
Jan Mishak.
Our offensive guy scored in this game.
Has some Montreal fans excited, a second-round pick.
And number 30, et le numéro 30, Tomáš Suchanek.
Boy, was he good.
And he didn't finish the game, but not because he played poorly, because they were resting him for tomorrow's medal game. So Suchanek will have to be good for the bronze.
Czechia's record is 2-4 in the tournament.
It doesn't matter.
The 3 best players of Team Canada are number 3, le numéro 3, Olen Zellweger.
Tournament leading scorer right now amongst defensemen. 3 more points in this semifinal game.
Le numéro 10, Logan Stankoven.
Best player the last couple games for Canada. Really good.
CHL Player of the Year.
And number 23, et le numéro 23, Mason McTavish.
Captain, leading scorer.
Now please rise for the national anthem of Canada. Maintenant, merci de vous lever afin d'écouter l'hymne national du Canada.
2005, 2009 that I think Canadian fans almost came to just expect every year that Canada would win gold, or at least.
So Team Canada into the gold medal game. They'll take on the winner of Sweden and Finland tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Nothing better than to listen to Ken Danico and Steve Conroy.
Ginger smile.